And welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. We had some big news here in the city of San Bernardino as Arroyo Valley High School athletic director and all-around good guy, Matt Howell, has been named the CIF Southern Section Athletic Director of the Year. And here is Matt Howell accepting the award from the outgoing CIF Southern Section Commissioner, Rob Wygod. This is a very big deal, voted on by his peers, the other athletic directors out there. We had a chance to talk to Matt Howell about this award and what this really means to him as an AD. Here's Matt Howell. And now join us here on the show. This guy just won a big-time award. He's one of my favorites. We're not supposed to play favorites, but I kind of do. He's the athletic director for Arroyo Valley High School, Matt Howell. He's also the athletic director of the year for the CIF Southern Section. And Matt, first off, congratulations on this award. I'm just curious, how did you find out that you won the award? And did you just go to the, I don't know if it's like a big athletic director's ceremony and that you have to go there and find out who won the award the night of and you were completely surprised? Like, how did you find out?
No, Pep, that would have been pretty cool finding out by surprise. But then, you always run the risk of if you think you're going to win it and then they don't call your name, then you end up looking like an idiot. No, my colleagues in the Citrus Belt area back in December, January, somewhere around there, gave me the award then, or voted for me then. And so I've known since then, but I've tried to kind of keep it quiet. It's an honor, but other people are deserving, and I didn't want to, go around. Which my wife would tell you is not me. Normally I'd be tooting my own horn, but no, this was something that I was very humbled and grateful for.
Did you, on first impression when you learned that you won the award, and again, because your colleagues are voting for this, so that's, your peers are saying, man, he's doing an awesome job at Arroyo Valley. Was your first thought, me? Like, are they sure it's this Matt Howell? Like, it's me at Arroyo Valley?
Yeah, Pep, some of the people that have won it over the years, I have great respect for. And to win an award that those people have won before me, it was very, very humbling. And it was kind of shocking when they announced the results of the election. I'm looking around and probably not paying attention in the meeting. And then they announced it. And, it was a surprise. And like I said, it's an honor to be recognized by your colleagues, because this is a job that not a whole lot of people understand. We have the duties of a vice principal, but there's only one of us on every campus. Well, not every campus, but most campuses. There's only one of us. So when somebody that understands what you do recognizes you for what you do, it's quite an honor.
Matt, I'm just curious, why did you choose to go into administration, become an athletic director?
Well, it's kind of funny, Pep. I didn't know if this is what I wanted to do, but it was one of those times where you come to a position in your life where you have to make a decision. And I was coaching at the time and having a great time coaching basketball here with Scott Smith. But an athletic director's job back in those days, 18, 19 years ago, they didn't come around very often. And my predecessor, Dolores Dudek, who is like the greatest athletic director of all time, she was retiring. So I kind of had to, if I was going to stay at Arroyo Valley, I had to make a decision. Do I go for this? And, I can do that job. Anybody can be an athletic director. If you coach, you can do that. And just like when you're an assistant coach and you think you're better than the head coach, or you can at least do the head coach's job, you're way wrong. You know nothing. And that's what happened to me. So, it was just one of those things where it wasn't like a lifetime goal or anything. It was just, hey, do you ever want to do this? If so, here's an opportunity. You need to jump at it, or maybe give up the dream, so to speak.
So you've been at this as an AD for almost 2 decades, for almost 20 years.
Yep.
So, I mean, are you around the games and the coaches enough that kind of fills your competitive spirit, or do you kind of, some days do you miss coaching? You're like, man, I'd like to just go out there and do the X's and O's and not worry about all this paperwork and lining up buses and making sure that the officials are here and all the other things that ADs do.
Yeah, that's a great question, Pat. Sometimes I do miss coaching, but I sit around. I'm around the games all the time. That's why I come into work. I do all the other junk that goes along with this, but at 3:00, that's when the fun starts, and that's when I realize, for 5 or 6 hours, I've done stuff that I don't particularly want to do. And now I get to do the cool stuff and be around the kids and the coaches. But a bunch of us I'm probably letting a secret out of the bag here. But when we sit around watching games, because I'll go to away games and other ADs will come to our place, and we just sit there and second guess the coaches like normal fans. Well, I wouldn't have done that. And so no, it's just a lot of fun. Doing this, and I'm not gonna be doing it for much longer. So I'm trying to enjoy every second of it.
Matt, as the athletic director of the year, what do you think is key to becoming a great athletic director? I mean, obviously you have to work with all the teams and all the coaches, and you're negotiating a lot of things, I'm sure, behind the scenes. Like, what are some traits, some characteristics you think are key to just be successful in that AD position?
Okay, another great question, Pep, which is why you do what you do. Well, I'll tell you, I received some advice from colleagues that I greatly respect when I first got the job. And one of the first things that they said to me, and something that I repeat to every new athletic director that I run into, is you have to understand that, like I said before, there's only one of you on your campus. So you need to network and get with other athletic directors that know what you do. And you need to put aside, you talked about the competitive nature of all coaches that become athletic directors. You got to put that aside. For me, when I go to a athletic contest and nobody gets hurt and there's no nonsense in the stands or anything like that, I get the officials in, I get them paid, they're treated correctly, and they have a good experience. The visiting team is glad that they came here, win or lose, that type of stuff. For me, that's the main competitive fix.
That's
I guess
a victory for
you would say. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Matt, finally, again, congratulations on the Athletic Director of the Year award. You said you're not going to be at this much longer, but as you look towards the future, has the AD role changed? Like from 20 years ago to where you are right now, and maybe minus COVID, because those couple of seasons was just completely abnormal. But from where you started to where you are now, and I don't know how many years you have left, have you seen that position kind of evolve a little bit?
Yeah, Pep, I really have, and it's become, in my opinion, it's become more of a administrative thing. Most athletic directors are part of the school leadership, and rightfully so. I mean, Arroyo Valley is a school of 2,700, and we have between 600 and 700 athletes every year. So we have a huge chunk of the student population, and I'm sure that percentage it goes across all the other schools, but we're in a very important part of the school culture. I personally, I don't particularly like that part of the job. Like I said before, I'd rather just be involved with the athletic portion of it, but it's a necessary evil to to get to enjoy the kids and the coaches. But yeah, I've seen it evolve or devolve in some instances. But what concerns me is the turnover in this position. There's not a whole lot of the guys that I broke into with 18 years ago. And every time we meet, whether it's as the Citrus Belt area or at the state conference every year, there's just a ton of new athletic directors. And it's not because we're all retiring at the same time, although I'm sure that plays some part of it. Mm-hmm. It's a really tough job. And if you have a family, I was very fortunate when I started that my oldest son was in high school and my youngest son was in elementary school, but I got to take him to school every day. My wife's job, she was able to pick him up. I scheduled some things. My son went to Redlands East Valley, so I would schedule things. He was a golfer, schedule golf matches between Arroyo Valley and Redlands East Valley just so I could go see him play. But yeah, it's not a job for somebody who this is going to come out wrong, but because I do value time with my family.
Yeah.
But this job takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it's the time that it takes is not real conducive to the normal family life. Yeah. We're out until 10 football games, sometimes 11 o'clock at night. It's a tough job. So I can see where some people, they do it for a couple of years and then, hey, we'll move on to something else. But for me, it's been the greatest job I've ever had. And the people that I've met and the people that I get to hang out with are the best I could hope for.
Well, Matt, we know it's hard work. It's long hours, not just long hours, but like you mentioned, it's nights, it's weekends. There's a lot of sacrificing on your personal side to make this happen. But I just wanted to personally say congratulations and thank you for always being so hospitable and friendly to me when I come out there to Arroyo Valley. I really appreciate it.
You are always welcome, sir.
That is Matt Howell, the CIF Southern Section Athletic Director of the Year here on the show. Again, Matt, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Pat.
Congratulations to Matt Howell. Very well deserving. When we come back here on Sports Weekly, our interview with San Gorgonio football star Nate Metters, who has just completed a season in the XFL. That's next here on Sports Weekly on IEMG.